Welcome back to our channel. Today we'll dive into the fascinating world of rhinos and explore the tragic reasons why some rhino species came perilously close to extinction. We'll uncover the impact of human greed and how it has driven these majestic creatures to the brink of destruction. Stay tuned as we discuss the history, challenges, and efforts to save these incredible animals. Let's get started. Today there are 5 rhino species that still exist. These are white rhinos, black rhinos, Indian Javan, and Sumatran rhinos. Especially the black and white rhinos came very close to extinction due to poaching. Poaching basically means illegal hunting. The history of rhino poaching in southern Africa dates back to the colonial era, beginning in 1647 when the British arrived at what is now Cape Town. Since that time, rhino populations have fluctuated, with various species facing the threat of extinction during multiple periods. During the colonial era, uncontrolled hunting was the primary cause of rhino deaths, with hunting considered a recreational activity and the horns kept as trophies. This led to a gradual but constant decline in rhino populations across southern Africa. Rhino horns have been increasingly used for selling or decorative purposes and as symbols of wealth. As mentioned earlier, the main reason for poaching rhinos is their horns. Statistics indicate that the future of the rhino population is uncertain, which has driven up the value of rhino horn. As a result, in recent times, rhino horns are being stockpiled by investors that believe they will appreciate due to their scarcity. Rhino horn has also been used as an ingredient in certain practices of traditional Chinese medicine. The surge in poaching during the 1970s and 1980s was driven by increased demand from Southeast Asian countries. Rhino horn was removed from the official list of traditional Chinese medicine in 1993 due to lack of evidence in health benefits. However, many users of traditional Chinese medicine still believe in the medicinal benefits of rhino horn, using it to treat various illnesses such as headaches, fevers, convulsions, and even cancer. Since 1977, the international trade of rhino horn has been declared illegal, and the international trade ban has created a lucrative black market estimated at $20 billion a year. Rhino horn is valued at $60,000 per kilogram on the black market. Most of the demand is coming from consumer markets in the Southeast Asian nations of China and Vietnam. Although international trade is illegal, domestic trade regulations are determined by the nominated national government agencies in each country. The South African DEA is responsible for protecting and conserving South Africa's environment. In 2009, a temporary ban was made on the trade of rhino horn domestically in South Africa, which was later lifted in April 2017 after an ongoing legal dispute between the DEA and private rhino poachers. The decision to lift the ban was motivated by the belief that by legalizing the domestic trade of rhino horns, criminal activity would be reduced and consumption of rhino horn could be regulated sustainably and ethically. Poaching is still happening to this day, but there are many conservation tactics that have been put to use. For example, in an attempt to prevent the poaching of rhinos, some rhinos in South Africa have been tranquilized and had their horns removed in a process carried out by local national park authorities and private sanctuaries. In this way, poachers wouldn't bother killing the rhinos since they are only after them for the horns. The Rhino Rescue Project in the South African city of Krugersdorp also implemented a technique whereby they infuse the rhino horn with a pink dye that is toxic to humans. This procedure takes place while the rhino is sedated, and it causes no harm to the rhino or other animals in the national parks. Since the dye is toxic to humans, the horn is no longer of use in traditional Chinese medicine, and as a result diminishes in trade value. The world's biggest rhino farm consists of over 1,300 rhinos and is also located in Krugersdorp, South Africa. In South Africa, armed national park rangers have formed anti-poaching units to confront rhino poachers, sometimes resulting in the poachers' deaths. Private security organizations also operate independently and alongside these rangers, utilizing advanced tactics and battlefield-grade technology, such as unmanned aerial vehicles, military-grade night vision, thermal binoculars, ground sensors, and camera traps. While rangers are typically armed with anti-personnel firearms, regulations and funding vary by country. For instance, Zimbabwean rangers can carry AK-47s, whereas South African private security companies are not permitted to use fully automatic weapons. And of course, there are rhino sanctuaries, which breed rhinos to restore populations. The authorities have made significant seizures of illegally trafficked horns. For example, in April 2019, South Africa's Northwest Province witnessed the largest rhino horn seizure on record. Authorities intercepted 167 rhino horns destined for Southeast Asia, leading to the arrest of 2 individuals. Although the men possessed a permit to transport the horns within Gauteng Province, they were apprehended in Northwest Province. Each man received a concurrent 25-year prison sentence for their involvement. Earlier, in February 2019, Hong Kong International Airport seized 24 partial rhino horns worth approximately £780,000. The horns were discovered in 2 cardboard boxes en route from Johannesburg, South Africa to Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. The latest information indicates that there are almost 6,500 black rhinos and 16,800 white rhinos alive today, and the protection of these animals is tightened every year. It would be really upsetting if these creatures went extinct due to human greed. They are magnificent. I have to admit that the authorities have done a good job with the conservation tactics, so I am hopeful. If you found this video interesting, leave a like, subscribe, and see you next time. Stay curious.